Hello, and welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I was not going to be doing a second video tonight, but I decided to. Anyways, I will be reviewing the Gran Habano 3 Siglos, or SLS. Apparently, as Siglos, it has got copyright disputes. Those that are made are being sold out, phased out, whatever. Apparently, Cohiba from Cuba, once they had an ability to take claim on their names and stuff, was able to go after the copyright and say, hey, we own the right to Siglos. You can't use Siglos. So, at least that's as far as I can understand. Um, they were rated a 92 by Cigar Aficionado magazine in 2007. Apparently, they really love these little Gran Habanos. I know I'm being prejudiced because I've had these before. But it is a Habano wrapper, and it looks very nice. It has Costa Rican, Nicaraguan long fillers, and Colombian Ligero. Now, again, not entirely pleased with the wrapping job. There is some bunching issue there. Some bumps and cracks and some uneven spots and some loose leaf. And it's not exactly pretty. It almost looks like it's cracked everywhere, but it's not. One of the bands just fell right off. It's semi-textured. Looks like it's coming apart a little on the cap, too. But, you know, I've never thought Gran Habanos have been pretty, even though the Ricos really like their cigars to come out pretty and they expect perfection in their rolling. I've yet to find any that really are. And kind of have a feeling that they just don't watch their bunchers much, or tercidors. So anyways, interesting that this is from Honduras with no Honduran tobaccos in it, unless that Habano is a Honduras Habano. It doesn't say where the Habano wrapper was grown. So, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. Oh. Very little scent off the wrapper. Maybe some slight cedar. Nothing standout-ish. Kind of had a puff with the molasses flavor in the very first.
Molasses, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. This is Rita.
Yes, Rita's still here. She has surgery tomorrow.
So, I look forward to it. Pain management's another story.
Kind of a raisin cinnamon flavor so far. Much different than I was expecting. Especially since this is listed as a full body. Ugh, I hate when they just label things and they don't come out just quite as it says.
Can't trust. Remember, cigars are hit and miss.
About the only thing I'm really picking up right now is like a raisin rum. Pretty tasty so far. It's just so far not exactly what I was expecting. I have had this before. It's been about a year and a half. I don't remember whether I liked the SLS. I just remember I didn't like the Gran Habanos, period, in
I
general.
didn't like it either.
And Rita didn't like the Gran Habanos either. But
No
this
offense,
time I'm going
they
back
suck
at them
balls.
with a totally honest review and doing a review. I did a review of these on my former channel before it. Long story. But it's no longer there. So, well, it's there. It just doesn't have any videos really to speak of. Not cigar related, at least. So, still kind of raisin-like at this point. So at this point, it's so far a winner. I'm going to get into the halfway point, and I'll let you know. I do know that CI has these cheaper than most places, and they're out of stock on a lot of them because they are going. They are not going to be back in.
I
So
do want to make a statement real quick, if you don't mind, since this is your review. Rita here again.
if you can hear her,
Try Holt's. They have Gran Habano bundles and boxes going out of stock.
well, that's Gran Habano. A lot of places have Gran Habano. Thing is, this is the Gran Habano 3 Siglos. So, anyways, I will see you at the halfway point. Hello, and welcome back to the halfway point. Huh? No. Welcome back to the halfway point of this Gran Habano 3 Siglos. I'm going to have to say, for a full-bodied cigar, bull hunky. This is more of a medium-bodied cigar. Maybe even lighter than that. Mostly a raisin kind of rum flavor. Little sweetness. Not much spice at all. Very pleasing. Lots of flavor. This is actually one of the better Gran Habanos I have had. And I don't remember having had one that tasted like this. One thing I would end up saying is that since these are closeout, gone for good, at halfway, I would say buy some, because even if the last third here is crap, they might actually improve with age, and you can't get them again. So I'm actually tempted to think about doing that, especially seeing that they might show up on CBITs too. So, and it's kind of always nice to have one of those cigars laying around, and then like 4 or 5 years later, pull it out, and somebody be like, "You can't buy these." It's really nice to smoke a cigar that's no longer on the market. I would know. I've tried quite a few of those lately. So, and in fact, that's almost more of a feeling of awesomeness than sitting there with a Cuban. Cubans can be gotten. Something that went off the market 5 years ago, you can't get that no more. So, seeing that these are going extinct, at this point, I'd say give it a try. But I'll get to you in the final third of this and let you know how it continues. But at this point, awesome. So, catch you in a minute. Hello, and welcome back to the final third of this Gran Habano 3 SLS, or also known as 3 Siglos. In fact, first time I had these, I didn't know what the SLS stood for. Didn't even know what a Siglos was. Now I do.
Rita here. I just want to say my favorite Cuban is a Siglos 6. And yes, it was a real Cuban.
We always seem to have to say that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because there's so much pointing out there saying yours wasn't real. But, you know, we're not bragging about them. It's just we compare some to them because, well, there's a lot of how do they stack up to what we have. And there's that mythos that they're far better and you're going to smoke it and have this heavenly experience and you'll never want another cigar in your life unless it's a Cuban, and then all other cigars suck. And it doesn't have that. It just, they're cigars.
I think it's funny how the U.S. gets all these cigars that everyone else in the world only wants Cubans.
Yeah, and I think we're special to get to try these Hondurans and Dominicans and all that stuff. It's essentially the same seed tobacco, not much different.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't like to use the Ligero at all, it seems. But and in fact, it seems that many of their cigars, they don't even use the Seco much. But, and they have very few choices of wrapper. But anyways, this is about the SLS, or 3 Siglos. In fact, they should have just gone with the 3 SLS, dropped the Siglos name. SLS doesn't necessarily stand for Siglos, and it could be presumed, and they could keep the blend. I don't see why to abandon the blend because a copyright issue with the name Siglos. Well, that aside. Flavors have kind of spiced up a bit, become a little bit more fuller flavor. Some of that raisin flavor's gone. So maybe a chocolatey note and some cedar in here now. Main thing I gotta say is this is one odd Habano wrapper. Just in a touch up, the Habano wrapper itself, I had a fingernail probably about that long. And I'm looking all over for a crappy lighter. And Rita's walked off. And I'm like, Rita, where's the lighter? Where's the lighter? I can't find the lighter. Well, we're in a hotel room, and as you see, the beds are right here. And it's got this fold, and the lighter had gone under the fold, and I couldn't find it. So by the time I do find it, I got this hangnail, almost an inch long. So I go to light it, up in flame it goes, and I'm sitting there trying to blow it out, and finally it goes out, and it didn't even do anything but char it. And it was like, and it was almost a quarter inch in further than I wanted it to go, and it's like, whoa, why did it catch on fire? Is this thing dipped in like gasoline or something? But still, it's a very nice, very pleasant cigar. Given the fact they're going off the market and the fact that it's a pleasant cigar and probably would be very nice to keep around in a humidor aging for some time and just pull it out at a party someday and be like, want something that's no longer on the market? You can do that. You know, who knows? Maybe somebody would be willing to pay you $20 for something they can't get anymore, or $30, and you've made a nice substantial profit on something you got dirt cheap. Because these usually come with a price tag between $4 and $8, depending on where you get them, and might even go as low as like $2 or $3 on seabeds. But there are very few sizes remaining through CI, so why they're still packaging it in the Backyard Boogie, I don't know. But I'm glad I got to try it again, and it has been very pleasurable, especially even when I was sitting here not in the mood for a cigar and decided, well, I'll do one more. I was talked into it, and it's been a very nice, pleasant surprise. So, with that said, I recommend this stick. I recommend picking some up and sticking them in your humidor. Buy those out. Seriously, I would. If I had the money, I'd buy them out. I'd at least stock up on a few. So, anyways.
I want to just say, even though you love your cigar reviews, Aaron, please hurry it up so I can get a knife so I can
Yes, I know.
spread my peanut
So,
butter.
anyways, with that said, please add and subscribe, leave comments, questions, suggestions, feedback, or any comments if you've had this. Would you recommend it too? Am I totally off? All we ask is keep it
Be
nice
honest.
and enjoy every puff.